Imagine a year where comedy is just...
You need a lozenge? What year was that, Sandro?
The year is 1941! Hello and welcome to Oldie Buddy Goodie. My name is Sandro. You've joined me on quite a somber day, although I'm still very confused. I got a random letter in my time-traveling mailbox. I'm back in 1941, and I've got a time-traveling mailbox. I haven't brought it up in other episodes, but I do have it. It's there. And I got a letter in it, which was an invitation to the event I'm at right now. It's the funeral of my arch-enemy, Harry Grindle Matthews, who I've been coming across a bunch during my time travel adventures here in the past, back in 1941. I wonder if Zach will teleport into the body of any of these people at the funeral. We might just do a podcast here at the funeral. It'll be a bit grim, but we're doing a horror film, so that could work. Anyway, the eulogies are about to begin. Let's listen in, listeners.
Greetings, everybody. We've all gathered here to pay our respects to this fine gentleman. He had one request, which was to play this, what I'm going to presume is a record thing.
I feel like you should know that. Sorry, this isn't a call and response eulogy.
Excuse me, sir. Can we have quiet respect for the dead?
Yes.
Thank you. Let me hook up this photograph. Oh, I dropped that one.
Oh, no.
Oh, it sounded like a plate smashing.
Sounded like a plate crashing. That's ridiculous. Who let that monkey out? Why is there a monkey running around this funeral?
Yeah, I don't know. No, don't worry. I had a spare copy. Here we go. Hook that up.
Yes.
Hello there. It is I, Harry Grindle Matthews.
Oh, no.
If you are hearing this, then I have sadly passed away. In my times, I have achieved great things. But the time where I met my arch nemesis, that is when history really started. As soon as I met my dear arch nemesis, Sandro, a time-traveling imbecile, who, through the possession of my body, by a being known as Zach or some shit, I don't know, was recording podcasts throughout time.
Yes.
Which seems very convoluted and makes zero sense.
This is quite a good recap, actually. I'm enjoying it.
But during this hour and 20 minutes of being possessed, I was able to reach into this Zach individual mind and learn the secrets of time travel.
That's what happened, yeah.
And so I went to the future and fucked shit up. Now, Sandro, you should be at this funeral where I'm making this recording from.
Oh my god, he's talking to me.
If you're here, fuck you.
Oh, rude!
I hope you like K-pop.
Oh, what?
Because that's the only music in the future.
Oh, I hate K-pop.
Along with my many achievements throughout the episodes, I recruited all the conniving, villainous people I could, such as Bill Gates, Logan Paul,
Oh god.
Steve Jobs, who in the future isn't dead anymore. You're welcome. And a few other, Elon Musk, some other. They're in my villains gallery, all right? They're part of the squad.
I don't know why he's saying this to a funeral of people who all seem to be from the 40s.
Sandro might be criticizing me now, but this part of the message is really just for him and me to brag to my arch nemesis, even though I'm dead now, because obviously you're listening to this recording. And, good job at living longer. I mean, you are from the future, so you literally die later than me normally. So that's not really an achievement. Just gonna point that out. Anyway, is there anything else I'm forgetting?
Very weird call and response thing there. Surely he'd know that there wasn't anything that he's forgetting, because it's his own memories.
I just realized I can't hear you, because this is a recording. Oh well, I don't think I'm forgetting anything. I'd just like to say it's been an honor, and I really hope, above all things, that you go fuck yourself, and that I don't die of a heart attack. because that would suck. That is like the number one death that I don't...
Wow. Rest in peace, Harry Grindle Matthews. You were an asshole in birth and in life. You invented things that weren't real things, and then you wrecked time. Now I've got to try and fix it. But you're dead, so that's fine. That's fine. My arch enemy's dead. It's going to be a breeze from here on out. We're not even halfway through the year, and the arc's already over because the main villain died off screen. Wow, this is truly Twilight or something. Did that happen in Twilight? Probably.
Oh, hi. Hi there, mate.
Oh, hello.
How's it going?
Oh, are you an Australian? A fellow Australian?
Oh, you're Australian as well? Nice to meet you, mate. How did you know Harry Grindelwald?
Oh, I'm his arch nemesis.
Oh, he was the one he was talking about in the recording. Oh, pleasure to meet you. I mean, he was a bit of a dick, so,
yeah.
good on ya.
I feel like everyone kind of hated him. Aside from maybe Elon Musk. I think they have a lot in common.
Anyway, well, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm, Howard Flowey.
Howard Flowey? That's a pretty flowery name.
Thanks.
Do you like to bake, Howard Flowey?
In a way, yes, actually.
Really?
Well, I'm a, pharmaceutiologist. I'm working on this thing we're gonna call, penicillin. You might have heard of my, companion who's helping me with this, Alexander Fleming. In the future, he's gonna be a lot more famous than me, unfortunately.
No, that sounds quite good. Are you, like, thinking of maybe treating meningitis next year or something? Is that kind of your vibe?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then eventually, maybe around 1945, submit our claims to the medical circles, and then maybe earn a little Nobel Prize. We'll see how it goes.
That'd be pretty good, though, although I bet Fleming's going to be the one to take that prize home. I bet you're not going to see an inch of that prize.
That's what Grindelwald said. You know what? I hated him at first. But that Harry Grindle Matthews he was an alright guy in the end, I feel.
He was an alright guy. He wrecked time and then he died of a heart attack. Now I've got to fix everything.
Well, I wouldn't say wrecked time. I would say improved time.
Improved time. Hang on a second, your voice isn't Australian at all. Harry Grindle Matthews, is that you?
Australian accent.
Harry Grindle Matthews, I know that's you. Your beard fell on the floor again.
Not again. Why does this keep happening to my costumes?
You faked your bloody death, Harry, you nincompoop.
You fool. You think I wouldn't, the second thing I do, immediately go into the future is Google my own death? And see how it happened? I just brought some aspirin back with me.
Oh no, you brought aspirin back to 1941 when you're meant to die? No.
Yes, with this aspirin stuff, I was able to live past my heart attack and I'll probably die by something else. But for now, I live.
Yes, I'm gonna kill you. I'm the one who's gonna kill you, Harry. I'm gonna murder you. I'm gonna chuck you into a blender. A giant blender of time.
Whoa, what? That doesn't make any sense.
It's a good thing that I prepared to meet you again, Harry. I was surprised to hear of your death, but I thought it'd be a trap, and that's why I brought this net. I'm gonna throw a net over you, Harry Grindle Matthews. I've thrown a net over you.
I'm being captured! Why did it sound like a plate smashing?
Oh, because I think I kept some plates in the net.
Ow! Yes, they're very sharp now because you broke them. That seems dangerous and irresponsible.
I've captured you with a time net. You can't time travel out of this net. You're my prisoner. And the best thing about this net is that it makes Zach come into your body. It's time to do a podcast. Oh, I can let you out of the net now. Here we go.
Oh, hey, Sandro. Is this Harry Grindle Matthews' body again?
Yeah, he faked his own death.
Oh, that was my second question, is why are we at a funeral and why is everyone staring?
Yeah, it's 1941, which is when actual historical charlatan Harry Grindle Matthews died, and so we had to explain why he's not dead. I mean, he faked his own death and lives still.
Do you think this is disrespectful to the actual human being that died around this time?
He was basically the 1920s version of Elon Musk, I feel. He just made shit.
You know what? And it is completely fine to mock the death of Elon Musk, so you're right.
It's true, yes. Has he died? I hope so.
Wow.
I hope that now that we've said this, Elon Musk has has died.
Oh no! In the future, he's like the Warhammer 40k God Emperor,
Oh no.
where he's fueled by 1,000 souls per day to extend his life.
Well, at least he's not the God Emperor from Dune, and he's just a giant worm with a face and a dick. Oh wait, that's the Paul brothers. God damn it.
Yeah, that's the Paul brothers. Yeah, you guessed that one. Yeah.
Anyway, this week we're reviewing a movie called Hold That Ghost. It's by Abbott and Costello, and I chose it instead of Citizen Kane because I'm a dickhead.
Yep.
We're gonna do non-spoilers and then spoilers. Zach, what did you think of Hold That Ghost?
Well, this feels a bit like Whiplash going into the episode now, but yes, we watched Hold That Ghost, which is an appropriate movie for this spooky setting in this graveyard.
We're in a graveyard. We're in a cemetery in the 1940s.
It was alright.
Okay.
I thought it was alright.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the light comedy. It was funny. We're going back to black and white again.
Yeah, well, The Great Dictator was in black and white, but I think that's just because Charlie Chaplin...
Yeah, was more comfortable.
Yeah, was more into that. But it is weird that, yeah, we had 2 color films, and now we've gone back to 2 black and white films.
And you know what? I'm alright with that. I was like, yeah, you know what? I was beginning, to wear off this color stuff,
Oh, it's not going to last. Yeah, it's just a
See, it's not going to last.
It's a fad.
Black and white stuff, bring it back. But yeah, this light-hearted comedy film, I thought it was alright. It's not as good as some of the other comedies we've watched.
Yeah. I wouldn't even say it's as good as Animal Crackers, and I didn't really love that.
Oh, okay. But I still enjoyed it. I thought it was alright. I liked the main actor, the little goofball.
Yeah, it's meant to be Abbott and Costello, but this film just feels like a Costello film. Abbott's like,
Yeah,
he's the straight man, but also everyone else on the cast is the straight man as well. So it's kind of just Costello being a fool, which is fine.
yeah. I did like this. So this is I don't think have I seen any Abbott and Costello? I've probably seen some Abbott and Costello. I think I've seen like skits, right?
They do a lot of like shorts and sketches and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of this film you could divide up into just sort of skits.
Yeah.
And do those like the waiting thing, which only is in there so that at the very end they could bring it all back to that.
Yeah.
Although that was kind of good. I don't know. I like the ending. It was good. It was right. Abbott and Costello, they were reasonably funny. Not amazing, but like entertaining. You know what I mean? I wasn't ha, but I was like, this is entertaining. I'm enjoying this.
I think we're the same, because I laughed maybe once, but I was definitely enjoying the film. I was enjoying it, aside from some of the racist shit that happens in this film.
Yeah.
It's pretty terrible, but it's the 40s.
Are you saying it was a different time, Sandro?
It was a very different time, yes. The jokes are fine. I don't know. It's interesting because it's like, you compare it, it's basically the slapstick stuff that we did in the 20s, but with sound.
Yeah.
It doesn't really utilize dialogue as well as like Animal Crackers did. Marx Brothers were quite good with the wise guy sort of shit.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, Animals Crackers was insane.
That was such a dense comedic film.
Yeah. It was so dense with like jokes. There was like 2 jokes a second flying out of every actor's mouth. Whereas this one, it's like they had some funny wordplay, especially at the start with the waiters. I thought that was pretty good. But a lot of it turns more to just sort of like visual gags, but there's not as many jokes in between, I think,
No, and also if there is a joke, they're going to do it for like 3 minutes straight. It's because it's like a sketch. There's like a bunch of sketches, and it's not really a sketch where it's like, here's a bunch of puns and like, yes, it's repetitive, but it's all about the dialogue and, the funny things and wordplay that we're saying. Here, it's kind of like an SNL sketch, where it's the same punchline every 30 seconds, but it gets heightened each time, which is still funny. It's just a very different sort of comedy.
Exactly. Yeah. I think SNL sort of like kind of works because this did feel like there was like an episode. You could cut this up and play this once a week, each skit that sort of leads into it. That would be pretty good, actually.
That's kind of what because they did a lot of, I think they started doing like some radio stuff, which was kind of like that. It was like short sketches and and all that, with a bit of a plot. This is their second movie. Their first major movie was called Buck Privates, which came out in January of 1941. That was a military comedy. I don't know if they were working on this by the time that came out, because that movie came out and, like, it did incredibly well, because, you know, it's 1941. Everyone wants, like, some war comedies.
Yeah, it's 1940. I was going to say, doing a military comedy in 1941 is, I don't know if that's well-timed or not, but certainly works.
I thought it was pretty... It's an hour and 20 minutes. I thought it felt like 2.5 hours. Ooh. This felt really long to me. I don't know why. I think it's because the jokes are so... They just do a joke for like 3 minutes, and the movie kind of stopped.
Would you say dragged out?
It dragged perhaps a little bit, but I was still enjoying it. I wasn't necessarily checking my phone to be like, when's this over? I was just like, oh, it's still going? And also because the plot is... It's kind of my least favorite sort of plot, which is generic crime. What? I don't like generic crime comedies. I think they're boring.
Yeah. It's like basic mobster plot. But that's kind of like, I feel like this movie suffers a bit more from time than some of the other comedies we've done, where it's like there's a lot of cliches in this one that we're a bit sick of nowadays, which back then would have been, you know, pretty fresh. So,
oh, for sure. And I mean, Abbott and Costello were the most popular comedians of the 40s and the 50s. They were massive.
You can see why.
Yeah,
they do quite well. I like their jibe. I like their what's the other word for synergy? Like
chemistry.
Chemistry. That's the word.
Yeah, it's like you got the straight guy who's kind of straight, but he's also a bit of a prankster. Like, he likes setting up pranks.
Yeah, he kind of takes advantage of the other one a few times, which is quite good.
I thought the supporting cast were also pretty good. We got, like, a couple women in there purely to be romance. That's their whole point. Yeah! Costello is a massive simp. He's a simp boy.
Wow.
He's a big old simp.
But also, I felt like they had a bit more character than some of the other female characters.
No, it's true.
That we've had.
Oh, I liked how they were like, because one of the characters, she's like a radio performer who's known for her scream, but then when scary stuff happens, she doesn't scream because that's not what she actually does. And I was like, yes. Very funny, very, very funny. And yeah, there's a bunch of other characters. I don't think the way this movie wrapped up necessarily made sense, and I want to talk to you about that. There's some things kind of left hanging, where you're like, is this house actually a bit scary? Is this actually a supernatural situation that Abbott and Costello found themselves into? I don't know. I'm not sure. But the horror was pretty good. I thought the horror was quite good. The problem with the horror is that every time there's a scare, there's bloody Costello going, poof.
Oh, you didn't like that?
I liked it at the start, and then I was like, just stop this bit. You've done it so many times now.
There's a moving fucking candle. No, that's fair. That joke did wear itself a little thin. I was fine with it. I was like, oh, yeah. Just kind of cruising along. I was kind of zen through this movie, you know? I was just chilling. I'm like, this is lighthearted, fun we film, you know, mobsters dying. It's a good old time, you know?
Did you think the horror was good? I thought, like, if you saw this in the 40s, this might have actually been scary.
Yeah,
there's some stuff in this where I'm like, nice, good work.
Yeah. I like the eyes. Try not to spoil it, but yeah, there's some good spooky things. Obviously, it becomes pretty apparent because it's a comedy. There's I don't want to spoil it, but there's like some scares which are like scary for them. But, like, I don't think that would scare anyone in real life. Like, even back then, like, there's some, like, silly scares, I should say.
Yes.
Mixed in with actual spooky scares, you know?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think, yeah, I can think of one sequence in particular where I'm like, this is not... Who'd find this scary? Maybe if you're a child, you'd be like, oh my goodness, that's pretty scary. But, yeah. I think it's a bit of fun. We may as well move on to spoilers. I don't know if I would recommend this to anyone, though. Like, honestly, I'm like, probably just watch the Frankenstein film they did. Like, that's probably better.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, right? I don't know many other Abbott and Costello films. I think this is the first one I've watched, from start to finish, right?
Yeah.
So I could recommend this, I'd recommend this. This is good. It was good, like, I'd put it in the background,
Yeah, okay.
It'd be good background comedy. You could watch it for a bit, see them doing some silly sort of slapstick stuff. I don't think the slapstick's overused, which is my main gripe with a lot of slapstick.
Yeah, we don't love slapstick, but the slapstick in this was it got me a few times.
Yeah, it was alright. I liked the scene where they danced.
That was one of my favorite scenes, yeah.
But we'll get into it. So I'll rate it a goodie.
Okay.
Why not?
Yeah.
I'll chuck a goodie on it. I'll slap a wee goodie on that. Why not? I'll be keen to see some of the more famous films.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's the classic Who's on First sketch, but they've got some good movies. I mean, Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein is kind of the big one. I've seen their movie Africa Screams, and I liked it when I was a child, but I have a feeling that it's very racist, and I'm not going to ever watch it again.
Oh, no. All right. Well, there you go.
I think I guess it's a goodie. I don't really know. I'm thinking about it. It's a goodie because I enjoyed myself. I wasn't waiting for it to be over, but it's on the lower end of a goodie. I don't know. They've got some better stuff, but I still think that it's a bit of fun.
You would prefer people check out their other films, but this one's still alright.
I would recommend just Google the best of Abbott and Costello and just watch some sketches. That's what I would probably say over any of their movies, really. But I don't know, it's pretty fun. I'm trying to think if there's anything else non-spoilers to talk about. The Andrews Sisters are in this.
Oh, yeah.
They sang a couple songs in this film. Did you like how the movie just stops and there's a live performance from the Andrews Sisters for 2 minutes?
Honestly, didn't mind it, actually. I was kind of vibing.
Yeah.
I was like, this is alright,
I thought it was pretty fun. I was like, cool.
I was a bit confused, but I thought it was like, this is alright. Cool, we have a dance number.
Yeah.
I was more concerned with one of the other performances, but I'm sure we'll get to that shortly.
Yes. But the Andrews Sisters are in Buck Privates as well. So I guess they just were friends. So they were like, we'll put you in the movie. Do some songs.
They were probably in Buck because of that whole thing where they have performances for soldiers, right?
Oh, yeah, that makes more sense with the plot. Yeah, true.
Yeah, with the plot, right? I'm just assuming, I haven't seen it. But then, of course, being in that movie, they're like, hey, we're going to make another movie. Do you want to be in that one? And they're like, sure. So that kind of actually makes more sense as to why they're in this film. Because they're at the start and the end of the film.
Yes.
And I feel like the start and the end of film feel not tacked on for no reason, but they do feel tacked on.
Yeah.
You could take the start and the finish of the film, take it away from the film, and the film would have been the same.
Yeah.
But they are fun little bits in the film.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And they sort of lead into each other, which is nice.
Yeah, it feels like two separate movies with the start
and
the end and the middle, but it doesn't make you go, why are we doing this? Can we get to the thing, please? It's not like that. It's like, oh, all right, I'm kind of happy with this. I'll sit with this for a bit, knowing that we're going to get some horror soon. And I'm excited for the horror.
Hello, it's me. Hey, I, Kelly McSett.
My gosh, that really hurts my darn tootin' throat. I've got an ad. Why, I bet you're also wondering if you're a robot just like me. Well, hey, wonder no more, because over on patreon.com/oldiebutygoodiepod, we've got the answers. And by answers, I mean a bonus episode reviewing Steven Spielberg's movie, AI Artificial Intelligence. Need more proof? I don't know, clip.
Big criticism, by the way. Why the fuck does he have an actual working mouth that he can dump spinach on his own circuits?
Yeah, there should be some sort of kill switch. You put some food in there, he shuts down. There should be something.
Or hear me out, he just doesn't have a fucking throat.
Yeah.
Just put a stopper. Get it? Get a cork?
Yep.
Done.
No, you're right. You're right. Maybe they didn't set him up properly. Maybe the parents just didn't read the manual. I don't know.
What?
You don't leave this shit in your model because people are gonna fuck up and act, oh no, I accidentally gave him a Snickers bar. Now he's broken. Well, come on.
Yeah.
Wowie, that sounds so hilarious. I'm gonna self-destruct. But I better go to patreon.com/oldiebudygoodie first and get that bonus episode. You can also get ad-free episodes of this here show, which is just the podcast you're listening to, but without me. That sounds amazing. Yeehaw! Spoiler warning.
Spoiler warning.
We're gonna spoil jokes. I don't have much to say about the movie, but I gotta spoil some jokes. I got some quotes, I got some jokes. But first of all, I want to say that Ted Lewis is a performer in this movie. And one, he a racist performer. But two,
Oof.
why he sound like William Shatner? Why does he sing like William Shatner?
Why not?
I like to walk.
Yeah, okay, when you say it like that, I hear it.
Rough start of the film is him on screen.
Yeah, I mean, at the start of the film, we're in a restaurant, and the restaurant scene's pretty good. But then he's in it, and it's like, oh no!
It's like,
oh no!
I'm a singer. I sing, but I talk like Captain Kirk. Yes. And then he sings a song called Me and My Shadow, which is him singing a song and a black guy mirroring his every move behind him. And I didn't like that, actually.
No. I was like, oh, we're gonna have to talk about this on the podcast. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Back then, people were racist. No.
It was, not good. Considering as well that then, like, shortly after the movie, because Abbott and Costello are working at the restaurant, they get fired, they go to, like, a gas station. They're playing around with some oil. One of them gets oil on their face, and then the other one's like, you look like a shadow.
It's like blackface. Ha ha! Get it?
Thankfully, the rest of the movie holds up pretty well and isn't that problematic, but
Yeah.
fucking hell.
Yeah, I didn't even like that performance as much as the three sisters. I felt they did a much better performance in general.
Oh, they're good. Yeah, no, the Andrews sisters are great. Ted Lewis is just like, I'm singing out of tune and talking like Shatner. Skibbity-doo.
He wasn't too bad, but it was just like I didn't vibe with him as much. I was like, eh.
You don't like jazz.
No, that's the thing. I like jazz a lot. That's the thing. I just thought his jazz was kind of poor, which sucked.
There's that weird part where, like, this old guy is at the club and he's got his young mistress with him, but she's calling him daddy. And I was like, cool.
I was gonna bring it up. Like, was that a thing? Was that already? You got some sugar daddies back then? Damn.
I don't know. I thought the daddy was like the 80s.
Yeah.
Or like 70s even. I didn't know it went all the way back to the 40s. God damn. And I do like how Costello's like, I'll take care of your daughter. She's not my daughter. Well, like, bloody, that's pretty good news to me. I'm a horny boy.
That was very silly. That was very stupid. Because then, if he's not his daughter, then they're on a date, right? And so, but of course, yeah, it was very silly.
Is she a sex worker? Is that why she's calling him daddy? I don't know. I don't know. Is this his young secretary? I don't know what's going on. I want to know the lore in this old man. I want to know if his wife finds out. I want that journey. I don't want spooky house.
Okay, first off, I have no idea why you're so concerned. Second off, surely that it's a shuggy daddy.
Shuggy daddy?
Shuggy daddy. I'm gonna stand by that. Shuggy daddy.
Oh, I liked, he's told to always, like, if someone asks what the price of the menu is, you say $3.
Yes, $3.
If they complain it's too much, he's like, you better say that to the manager.
Yeah.
If they are then like, well, I'm gonna leave, I don't want to eat, you say, well, if you don't, someone else will. And then he says that to someone in the wrong context, it's quite funny.
Yeah, it's quite good. Speaking of, like, wordplay and stuff, which we were complaining was not as much of the film, this is a good bit of wordplay.
This is a good bit.
Where they have, he's like, why'd you pull out my chair? And he's like, that'll be $3. What do you mean $3? And it's like, I'm gonna report you. And he's like, well, you better speak to my manager. It's like, I'm going to punch you in the face. So, well, if you don't, someone else will. Which is quite funny.
That was great. That was great. It's crime lads at the restaurant. They're making deals.
Oh yeah. We got the mobsters, and we get a little bit of backstory. It's like about this one mobster who owns all this stuff.
Mr. Moose.
Yeah, and all the other mobsters want in on it. They want it.
They want the money, but Moose is like, I don't keep money on me. I keep the money in my head. I don't keep it anywhere else. I keep the money in my head. I'm a moose in my moose head.
Oh.
In my moose head. In the moose head in my tavern.
Oh, I finally got that. Oh no, you saying it, I finally got the joke, because he is called Moose.
His name is Moose.
And so he keeps it in his head, and his head would be the moose head.
As soon as they walked into the tavern and were like, that's a moose head, I was like, the money's in there.
Yeah. I didn't... When they said head, I was like, oh, the money's in there. But I didn't grab the connection that his mobster name was called Moose, and why that would be slightly even more obvious. But yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny, I just cottoned onto that now.
Yeah, as soon as they introduce the mobster thing, I don't know what it is about crime comedies where it's like, I'm a generic mobster, or I'm a guy, I've got to be pretty silly, but I'm going to stop you in the end. I don't care.
Woof.
We've done so many films from the 80s, and I'm over it. Beverly Hills Cop was good. Stop after that.
Yeah.
Just stop there.
Sandra, you picked this film.
I know. I thought this was going to be a horror film. I didn't think it was going to be a mob film.
You were hoping for a horror comedy, but it's more like a mobster comedy with a horror backdrop.
Yeah. Also, the title of this movie is Hold That Ghost. No one ever says that in the film. Why is it who's holding a ghost? Why are you holding ghosts?
No, at one point he tries to hold on to the ghost, right? When they're flailing around in the dark because they got spared by the ghost, and he tries to hold on to the ghost, but he holds on to the woman. And then he goes to reveal the ghost by taking off the sheet, and he in the dark apparently lifts up her skirt.
Yep,
that's the joke.
That's the joke. Well, it's better than the original name, which was Oh Charlie.
Okay, I'll give it that.
Charlie is the name of some random mob guy who dies in the first 20 minutes of the movie. He takes them to the haunted place, and then he dies.
Yeah.
Don't know why you'd name a film after him.
Yeah, maybe the film was slightly differently focused, where they thought they were being haunted by Charlie.
Oh, that's a good idea. I do want to get to that, as to why he dies, because I don't...
Yeah.
I got questions, but anyway.
Well, okay, so Abbott and Costello, they work at a gas station. I'm figuring this is probably like a regular thing, and this is where they sort of run back to as their gas station jobs. Anyway.
You reckon like in the other movies, they're gas station attendants as well?
Yes.
It's kind of like how Charlie Chaplin is the tramp. I think that makes sense. Yeah.
That's what I figure from this movie, but that could be false. Anyway, they get the jobs at the restaurant. There's this whole restaurant scene where we get a bit of entertainment and a few funny jokes.
Yep.
They get fired from this job.
Yep.
They go back to the gas station.
Yep.
Where Moose rocks up in his car.
Yep.
And they have a bit of slapstick shenanigans with him.
Yep.
Where at one point, was it Abbott?
Costello is the funny one. Abbott is the straight man.
Yeah. So Costello pulls out a gun from the back of this mobster's car and shoots it off, which attracts the cops.
It attracts the cops, who then are like, oh my god, that's Moose. We're gonna shoot him.
Yeah, we're gonna get him. And so that we have a chase scene, a nice slap and stick chase scene, which ends up with Moose getting shot.
Yes, and he dies. And he's got his last will and testament on him.
Yep.
Which states that because he's a mobster, he doesn't trust any of his friends.
Makes sense.
Or any of his co-workers to get any of his possessions. The only people who get his possessions are those that were with him when he died. So Abbott and Costello, they get his tavern. They get the tavern he owned.
Yeah, they get his house. His big, spooky building.
Which is a really fun setup. I really enjoyed that reveal. I was like, that's kind of funny.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. Because it almost makes sense, right?
Yeah.
That he just doesn't trust any of his mobsters. That bit makes total sense, you know?
Yes.
And so he just gives it to whoever dies with him. Obviously, it was more looking to for people who were defending him when he died or something. But yeah, no, quite funny.
And they are driven over to the tavern. It's a spooky tavern. There's a bunch of other characters who were introduced to it. First, I was like, are they going to kill off a bunch of these people? Is this going to be like an early like proto-slasher?
Yeah. Not quite, unfortunately. More of just more people for the comedy. So, the taxi driver has recruited some extra people. It turns out to be a scam where he like waits for them all to get out and then drives off with all their luggage and stuff. We have lady who was previously an actor.
Yes, radio
for
Scream.
Specifically. She does scream acting.
Scream acting.
She's got a pretty good scream.
She's pretty good. She screams a couple times. You've got the other lady who's just there to fall in love with Costello.
Oh, no. The scream actor falls in love with Costello. The other one's there to fall in love with the doctor.
Oh, Mr. Doctor!
The doctor, who is the take your glasses off sexy doctor man.
Yep.
Who is very concentrated on his work. He gets very fixated.
Yes.
He's also an asshole to this poor juice man who, like, squeezed juice an hour ago, which is very recent. I would be thrilled if my juice man had squeezed the juice an hour ago for some orange juice, you know?
Yep.
But he's like, oh, that's half an hour too late. After half an hour, it loses its chemical properties. I was like, what the fuck is this doctor talking about? Anyway, he gets very fixated. He's a bit of a, a ditz,
Yeah, he's like...
smart, but very concentrated on things. He, studies the water in the house, and the water turns out to have healing properties.
I don't know what the fuck that was about, because apparently the water tastes like shit. Like, they make some soup out of the water, and they're like, this is terrible soup. That's not good soup. Oh, it comes back around.
Whoa!
At the start, they've got good soup, and then halfway through the movie, they got bad soup. But then the bad soup has the healing water in you, so it's better for you.
They should probably put some orange juice in it, though, Spice it up, make it taste better.
He was fun. I liked him.
Yeah.
The two women characters were kind of just there to run around and be scared and then to also kiss people. But one of them has that fun dance sequence, which was great.
Yeah, that's the actor lady. I think she had more of a role in this film than the other one.
Yeah.
The other one's just kind of there. I'll agree. She is literally the other lady is literally just token female to fall in love with Doctor.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But the actor lady who does screaming had these like personalities. She does some dancing.
Yep.
She screams a bit, which is like her personality. Like she had a character and a sort of arc, which was good.
I did like when they rock up to the cabin, they're like, oh, shutters. And then there's like a close up on the shuttered windows of the I thought that was very funny. I didn't laugh at that, but I was like, haha.
Yeah, again, it's like entertaining. You got that inner like ha sort of thing. Like, there's some good jokes like that.
Some good jokes. Some more quotes I've got is like, they are in the dark. They're feeling around with their hands, and Costello's like, I feel a damp opening. That's my mouth. Got your hand in my mouth.
Yeah. They're feeling around in the dark. It's like, oh, it's a damp opening. Oh, that's my mouth.
Costello turns on the tap. No water coming out of the tap, just air. Sounds like steam. And so he's like, choo, 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 choo. And then Abbott's like, you fool, I'ma backhand you, you dumb asshole. And Costello's like, but I was playing Choo Choo Train.
I have no idea what the fuck was going on in that scene.
Costello, he's like very funny, but how has any of the characters Costello plays gotten this far in life? How do they not live with their parents? That's what I want to ask. How are they able to function by themselves?
Well, I think they don't. That's why they have Abbott there, And of course, both of them are both a bit idiots. They're both idiots, so it works out quite well. Like when the sugar daddy and her get up to go like dance or something. They get delivered their food, and he's like, well, then why don't you eat the fucking food? I don't give a shit. I'm going to dance. And the waiter, Abbott and Costello are like, oh, I guess we'll eat the food then, as waiters. And of course they get fired, Very silly.
Yeah, we already mentioned it, but the slapstick dance scene was really fun, where it's Costello and the actor lady the film stops for like 3 minutes and they do like a slapstick dance. It's great.
Yeah, they find like an old record player and play some music and they dance around, but there's like a bucket of water.
Yes.
And they keep tripping and stepping in this bucket of water, and at one point it gets stuck on the lady's ass. She like falls and gets her ass stuck in it. And then Abbott starts playing the bongos on it, and they just start dancing with that. And I'm like, this is some weird kinky shit, you know?
It is. This is a kinky movie. They're saying that stuff is good soup. They're calling each other daddy, and they're playing the bongos on their ass.
Oh, yeah, that's true. This is a very kinky movie.
So Charlie, who's the mafia guy with the totally not sus mustache, who takes them to the house and is working like with the cab driver and stuff, he gets strangled by something. Now, later in the movie, there's a ghost running around. The ghost is one of the mafia people trying to scare them. But this ghostly, like, hands that we see strangle Charlie, we never know what that is. Because it doesn't make any sense if it's the mafia, because Charlie works for the mafia.
Yeah, but they all betray each other. Why would you keep the other mafia guy alive when you could have all the money?
But I thought that, like, the mafia were working together to try and get the money away from Abbott and Costello, or were these just two people who knew Moose?
Yeah.
And are trying to...
And they want the money. No, I just think they're greedy assholes that would murder each other just to get a chance at the money.
Yeah, I guess.
Look, I think you're putting too much stakes in, like, mafia camaraderie. Oh, we're criminals that murder people, but, we won't murder each other for more profit. Oh, no,
that's not really
no.
the case. Like, I understand that. I think I just really wanted there to be a ghost.
Ah, right. Well, I will point out that the candlesticks did float around.
Exactly.
And that has no explanation.
Yeah, and, like, who's grabbing the hat off Costello's head?
Yeah.
Who's doing that? Is that a ghost, or is that the mafia people playing pranks? Are they big pranksters?
I'm pretty sure the mafia guy is just a big prankster, but that candle never gets explained at any point. They just go, oh, it's the mafia guy doing things. But how the fuck did he levitate a candle, though?
Yeah, I don't know.
There's a lot of slapstick comedy with Ghost going around, which is a guy in a sheet. And this is what I'm talking to about, like, scary. This isn't exactly scary, a guy in the sheet. I don't know if back in the day, sheet men were a bit more scarier.
I mean, it depends how... Because obviously the movie is, like, we can see that it's a guy under a sheet. But maybe in the context of their house, they don't have proper lighting, so they can't tell that there's a guy under the sheet. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, for the characters, it's definitely scary, obviously. But, like, in real life, we're talking about, was this movie scary? I don't think the scenes where a guy in the sheet was scary to real people.
I don't think Guy in the Sheet was scary. It's definitely the scene where the guy in the sheet runs into Costello's room and just goes into bed with him and just falls asleep. I'm like, this isn't scary.
Yeah, obviously that was more comedic. There was a scary scene, though.
What was the scary scene?
Well, at one point, Costello's going around with a candle and goes past a dark room with two spooky eyes.
Oh, my God.
And it blows out the candle. And that was pretty freaky.
Yeah, that one got you?
It was pretty, well, not really, but, like, it was pretty spooky.
As I said during our episode on Dracula, none of the horrors we're doing this year are actually going to scare us, but we can see how they would scare people in the 40s.
Like, it was definitely, like, more alarming than other things. And, like, I could imagine, like, a 1940s child being like, holy fucking shit, what the fuck? There's a guy there and he's glowing eyes, holy shit. It's revealed in the end that it was an owl.
It was an owl.
Except maybe the one where it blew out the candle, which was the mobster.
Or that was a ghost.
Or it was a ghost. Or there is still a ghost.
There's still a ghost.
I was hoping they'd have that thing at the end. Obviously, that's not a bigger thing now, where it was like, at the end, they're doing the whole thing, everything's sorted, and it's like, but how did those candles float around then? Or something like that. And, and then in the background, you just see a floating candle. It's like, oh, maybe there was a ghost the whole time,
I got some more quotes for you.
Oh, yeah?
Costello, he's scared. He's like, I don't want to go in that room. I'll be the lookout. A lookout for what? For myself.
That's a good one.
There's a scene where they're making a bed.
Oh, this fucking scene. The scene was breaking my mind.
The scene is so dumb, it goes on for way too long. They're like,
yeah.
they're putting the sheet on the top of the bed, and then she's like, now we gotta tuck it under the mattress. So he picks up the whole sheet and puts it under the mattress.
Yeah, he like rips the sheet off the bed and just tosses it under the mattress, and he does it twice. And I was losing my mind.
He does
I was
it
like,
more than that. I think he does it like 4 times.
they probably did it 3 times. I was just losing my mind at that stage, and I was like, what the fuck? Stop throwing it under the bed. No, this is fucking so dumb.
So dumb. And they're like, stop throwing it under the mattress. And he's like, where do you want it? Do you want it on the top or under the mattress? I liked how he freaked out in that scene. I loved how...
Yeah. He was like, what the fuck?
It was great. He just absolutely loses it. It was so funny. I also like the scene where I think he faints.
Yes.
He randomly, like, he faints, he's scared, he faints. He's taken out to see the rest of the people, you know, like Abbott is carrying him. His love interest is like, oh my god, what happened? There's been a murder. She assumes the murder is Costello, so she faints. Costello wakes up, he's like, oh my god, I fainted, what happened? There's been a murder. He sees her body is fainted, so then he faints.
Yeah.
That was funny.
It was a fun series of events.
You're imagining it. All the spooky things you're imagining it. I can't imagine it. I'm not that clever.
That's a good line. That's actually a good line. That holds up even now.
I'm not making frenzies with anybody here. That one wasn't very good. That one was so good. I didn't like that one.
I like that one a lot. I think that one's great. I take all of my statements back earlier. All of these, this is comedy gold. I love the puns. The puns in this movie were pretty great.
The puns were good, yeah. But did you like the scene that went on for fucking 5 minutes where Zach, this tavern was a bar during Prohibition era, and the bedrooms are actually gambling rooms?
Yeah. I was talking about this scene with a friend. He goes to sleep in one of these bedrooms.
Yeah.
And of course, he hangs up his hat and coat like a gentleman would.
Indeed.
Before bed. And by hanging it on the coat rack, it like pulls down the hook as like a fake lever, a secret lever, which flips the bed and rolls out these like gambling machines and other things. So you got like, you know, your pool table, your slots, your everything. It all like comes out of the walls and everything. And so he goes to lie down on the bed, but it's now a table, and he's like, oh my god! And so he freaks out. He grabs his hat, he grabs his jacket, he runs into the other room.
Yes.
He's like, oh my god, come quick. My whole room, it's changed into a gambling room. And so they come back in, but of course he's taken his hat and his coat.
Exactly. So the room gone back to a regular room.
And he's like, well, but it was. And he's like, shut up, Costello, you're a fucking idiot. You're fucking stupid, you idiot. Stop making this shit up.
Yeah, dumb boy.
And of course, they like settle down, he goes back to sleep. He puts his hat and his coat back on the rack, and of course it all happens again. And so for the next like 5-10 minutes, we have this back and forth of this happening. It happens like 4 or 5 times.
They do it so many times.
I think they dragged this one out just a little bit.
A little bit too long, but it was also funny. I still enjoyed it. I wasn't annoyed at this one like I was with the bed scene. This one, I was like, sure, drag this out. Why not? It's a pretty funny joke.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, at this point, Costello is just, he has lost it. He's lost it. He thinks, like, candles are moving on their own and no one believes him, even though we see it.
Yeah.
I liked where he was like, I'm going to run out of here so fast, the suction will bring you along with me. That's pretty fast.
That's pretty fucking fast. Because Costello can fucking book it, you know?
But then they eventually get ready to go, and they find that the moose head is where all the money is, so they get all the money before they leave.
Yeah. Because they point out the moose head, and then Costello's like, maybe the money's in it. And they're like, shut the fuck up, you're a fucking idiot. There's no way they'd hide the money in the moose head.
No way.
I cannot believe it didn't occur to me that the lobster was called Moose. I just kind of forgot that fact, I guess. But yeah, he like climbs up to grab the moose, and he's like, oh, this moose's tongue is all papery. And he, like, scrapes it out, and, of course, money just starts falling out of the moose's mouth. And they're like, oh, keep grabbing its tongue. And he's like, oh, do mooses have tonsils?
It doesn't make any sense, because he would see the money unless his eyes are shut. Why would his eyes be shut?
I think he's like, I think his eyes are shut because he's feeling around, right?
It's like the scene where like he's talking to a character, their heads are turned to look at each other, and there's the guy in like the ghost outfit behind them. I'm like, you'd see him. He's right there.
Yeah, but maybe he's the same shade as like the curtain behind them.
Maybe.
So they didn't notice.
Then film the movie in color and make the jokes make sense. Fucking Abbott and Costello, bloody hell.
Wow. Are you tech shaming their movie? Like, fucking use modern graphics.
Yeah.
Use some color, Make your jokes make more sense,
I don't know. I don't think Universal had the money to do that back in the 40s. I don't think they were quite as big as they are now. But anyway, they find the money, and then the mobsters are like, we're taking the money. And then they run around, and they fight a bunch until Costello makes cop siren noises, and that scares them off.
I thought that was a pretty good way of getting rid of them. Although, I thought they would have come back or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought there'd be a scene with them going back into the house, and then they get scared by something and run off. I don't know, have like the ghost or whatever come back at that point. I'm not sure. I did like the scene though where Costello is running away from the mobsters and like he slides down the banister on the chair and then he just goes flying like through like across frame. He's just flying across frame. That was really good.
Dude, Costello can move, you know?
Yes.
He wasn't lying, That suction from his movement's going to take you with him,
And then they turn the tavern into a nightclub and stuff, and we get another song and everything.
Yeah, and they go back to the start of the movie where they have the same performers and other things, and they also are hiring, waiters and stuff, and they hire the waiting manager that was at their previous job, which was their boss.
Yeah.
But now they're his boss. Haha. And they make fun of him.
Oh, and then Costello is taking all the profit for himself. He hides it in his shirt.
Oh, yeah, he tries to steal the money, which is pretty funny.
There we go. That is Abbott and Costello hold that ghost. I'm having a look here. I'm trying to find like more information about them as a duo. It seems like, like what usually happens is like they split up because your money.
Yeah.
Because I think Abbott, as the straight man, was getting more money than Costello, even though Costello
really?
He's the main character of this film.
I mean, yeah, he's definitely pulling more of this movie's time than Abbott. Maybe in other movies it was more even or even in Abbott's favor, but like in this, he definitely had a lot more screen time.
But yeah, they split up at some point during the 40s. Like later on in the 40s, their star waned due to overexposure. They got so famous that no one cared anymore.
Yeah.
It seems to be what happened.
Oh, yeah, I could feel that. Yeah, you could get sick of something. It's like how Marvel movies,
Marvel movies. Chris Pratt, he's in everything. I'm sick of him. And Costello, he was a boxer for a bit. He was a boxer.
Ooh,
how about that?
That's pretty cool. Had fucking Costello, man. What a fucking legend.
He was great at basketball. Like,
what a fucking legend. Absolute legend. Absolute unit.
all right, let's get into the remake. We gotta remake this movie, Zach. We gotta remake it. We gotta do Hold That Ghost 2023 remake version. Obviously, we gotta start by recasting Abbott and Costello, whose characters' names are Chuck and Ferdy, but I don't care. In the remake photo I'm making, it's Abbott and Costello. I don't give a fuck about their character names.
Yeah, it's Abbott and Costello. We need a good comedy duo, then.
Good comedy duo. Now here's...
Or just I know who we need.
You know who we need?
We need a large straight man
Yes?
and a shorter comedy man. We need
I know exactly who you're thinking of.
Yeah. We need someone who's had movie experience together, I feel, who have starred in a movie where a male gets pregnant.
Oh, wait. Oh, you're going for them. I thought you were going to go for Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill from 21 Jump Street. That's what I thought you were saying.
Yeah, that would also be a good comedy duo. No, I want a completely left field route. I want Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger as my Abbott and Costello. But I actually like your one more. I feel like we've gone to Danny DeVito before, you know, we've dipped into that well. But he would make a great Costello.
I feel like they're maybe too old, like Arnie and Danny DeVito.
Ah, fuck it. We could say for a remake, rewind time, but you're right. They're a bit older now. So I like Channing Tatum and the other one.
And Danny DeVito, not Danny DeVito, Jonah Hill. I think though, the dynamic there though is like Jonah Hill is the straight one and Channing Tatum's the bimbo.
Yeah, we could do a little flipping script here.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Here's my thoughts, Zach. Here's my thoughts. Abbott and Costello, they started on radio. We need a good straight guy, funny guy from Hamish and Andy as Abbott and Costello. That's a local reference.
Hamish and Andy. Oh my god. Hamish and Andy isn't a thing I've thought about for many years.
They're doing podcasts now. They're podcasters now.
Yeah, I'm sure they're super popular and still doing things, but oh my god.
My bit was going to be we cast Hamish and Andy as Abbott and Costello and then like make like a weird like Australian thing, but I prefer Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill. Let's do that.
No, but I like the reversing of roles here, where you've got Costello as the tall, thin one, and Abbott as the other one. But, like, still keep them as the same, you know, characters.
Yeah, okay. So Jonah Hill is going to be Abbott.
Yeah.
Costello is going to be Channing Tatum. I like this. I like this dynamic.
I was thinking about, would they work, like, well in this sort of, like, slapsticky environment? I think they could do it, especially Channing Tatum. I think he's an underrated actor.
He's a great actor. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think this could work, yeah.
Well, then we also need to recast a couple other people. Dr. Jackson, who's with them, he finds out about the water. Dr. Jackson, now I'm thinking, for Dr. Jackson, we go back as well. I just kind of want to bring across the entire cast of 21 Jump Street. Love interest, Brie Larson, Dr. Jackson, Ice Cube.
You can't just go, all right, here's a one comedy movie with two well-known actors. Hey, let's just take the entire cast for that, make it this movie. Boom, done.
But it would be pretty funny. It's directed by the same people.
No!
Phil Lord and Chris Miller. They're directing it as well.
God damn it, Sandro. You can't just pick one movie and just change the plot to another movie.
I can, and I'm doing it right now unless you stop me and give me other cast members.
I don't know. Who would be good female leads? Oh, I wanted like Henry Cavill as the Doctor or something. Like someone, yeah, like because that's the kind of vibe he has, is the like Clark Kent character, I felt.
Yeah.
Where he's like this super nerdy, but like take off the glasses and oh my god, he's so handsome sort of thing, you know?
Nerdy, hot sort of guy.
Or one of my favorite, Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, true. I was thinking Tom Hopper.
Oh, I do love Tom Hopper. Oh, bring him in here. Get this Tom Hopper boy in. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I want Tom Hopper now.
Tom Hopper gets in there. So Camille, I think, is the Scream Queen. She was the screamer on the radio. She's fallen in love with Costello. We need someone who can scream. We need a modern day Scream Queen. That's who we need. I'm trying to think of like horror films that have come out recently. How old is Channing Tatum? We need someone age appropriate. Channing Tatum's like 40-something. We could go Sarah Paulson. She's in a lot of American Horror Story stuff. She looks like someone who would have been on the radio, quite a popular actor. She looks like an actor. She often plays actors.
Yeah, because she's an actress. I mean, yeah. Yeah, she could be good. And I would love her character to play it really straight. And just be like, holy shit, there's a fucking poltergeist. Also, in this movie, I want there to be an actual poltergeist.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And like, whenever she's on screen, the movie turns like full horror, and we like see a mobster like die, you know, horribly, and it's like she's like, holy shit, this is fucked up. And then you cut to our comedy characters. It's like, oh, what's going on? Oh my god, it's a
oh my
ghost.
god. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, well, then we should bring in, I know I'm jumping to the director, but we should bring in the director of, I think it was Happy Death Day,
Yeah.
which was pretty funny. It was like Groundhog Day, but a slasher.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
also he directed Freaky, which was an ancient dagger causes a serial killer to swap bodies with a teenage girl.
Oh, right. Yeah, I heard about that one.
It's pretty fun. I think he could direct this. I think Christopher Landon would do pretty well.
Yeah, that's mixing horror with comedy, which is kind of what I want to hear. So I think that's a very good pick. That's a very good pick.
We've got one more cast member that we can recast, though. Is there anyone else in the movie that you'd want to swap out? There is the other woman.
Yeah, we could just cast the other female character. I think that it makes sense, right? Or a mobster, or the mobster.
Mr. Moose? Mr. Moose?
Yeah, Mr. Moose. Maybe Mr. Moose could hide. Who would play a good mobster?
Danny DeVito.
No, I want to save Danny DeVito. We can't put him in this one, otherwise we can't use him again for a while. No. Save Danny DeVito for another day.
Okay.
We could have. There's some good ones. I want Jeff Goldblum
Jeff Goldblum.
to be mobster.
Can he do, like, are we setting this in the modern times? If so, the last will and testament should be like a video. Like, well, I've died.
Yeah. That's a good question. Do we do it in modern times or do we base it back then? What do you want to do?
I kind of want it to be the 40s.
Yeah.
I just don't know if that would work, if people would see that. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it could work. I think it could be fun. We're just mocking, the 40s, whatever. That way we can have our, like, sugar daddy thing.
True.
And be like, hey, that's fucking gross, dude. And there's like,
Yeah, I guess then as well, it can be kind of a joke on horrors from the 40s. Kind of like what Renfield is-ish.
Oh, we could make it a bit more modern than the 40s or something like that,
Like the 60s or something, yeah.
Yeah, we'll do a Stranger Things. We'll have it vaguely around that time. You know?
We will say a particular year, but we'll play music from after that year.
Yes.
In the context of the characters listening to that music, so it just really doesn't make any sense. We'll do that.
Yeah, exactly. And then we can have like a videotape cassette of Jeff Goldblum's of death. By the way, Goldblum's specifically an Italian mobster.
Oh.
But like all the other mobsters are like very Italian.
Yeah.
He's not at all though. But he's like the mafia boss.
That's pretty funny.
But everyone says like he's the Italian mob boss, right? Yeah.
Well, there we go. That's the episode. We're done. We're out of here. A bit of a short one, I think. Probably after editing this one, it will be shorter, I think.
Oh, absolutely. I need to go back to the future and eat some cheese.
Why?
Because I've been craving some Castello this whole time.
Oh my god, you've been waiting to make that joke all episode, haven't you?
I've been waiting all episode for that joke. I've been holding that one back.
Oh my god. Well, that is the episode right there. So that Zach can get some cheese, I will go through ways that you can check us out. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, at OldieButtyGoodiePod on everything. If you want to send us an email, if we did not realize how problematic Abbott and Costello are, if they do have controversy on their Wikipedia page, email us in, oldieButtyGoodiePod@gmail.com.
It's going to be like that one week where we did a movie. We were like, there's no controversy here. Next week, our guest came on and we were like, hey, did you know all this horrible stuff? And we were like, oh my god.
Yeah, that one time that we thought Buster Keaton was fine.
Yeah.
No,
No.
not really, actually. Oh well.
Let us know. Chuck us a comment. Chuck us an email. Check us out on Facebook.
We got the funniest fucking comment. I was in Sydney last week, and I noticed an email come through to oldieButtyGoodiePod@gmail.com.
Nice.
A comment on our episode of... Do you remember Alan Quatermain and the City of Gold?
Yeah, I remember that one. The super racist one.
Yeah.
Oh, that was bad. That was not great.
Someone commented on that. It's like a fucking paragraph. I'll send it to you later.
Oh, yeah.
Just being like, you can't actually be racist because there was a black guy on the cast. And I was like,
whoa!
It's not how it works, actually.
Interesting.
And then just started going off against like PC culture and stuff.
All right. I mean, look, I'm sure there's fans of Alan Quatermain. When it's not being racist, that movie was pretty good. But the problem was, it was mostly racist.
Yeah, the comment was like, there wasn't someone dressing up as a race that they aren't. And I'm like, there's literal brown face in the movie, though.
What do you mean? White Savior was fine.
It's
White
fine.
Savior's a great plot. Everyone loves that plot.
This bloody PC agenda ruining my adaptations of books that were written in the 1800s. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Can't bloody believe it.
Good lord.
That's up on our YouTube. I love comments like that. I think it's very funny. I won't read it out on the podcast because it's racist. But anyway.
Please send your emails about how the singer in this movie was not actually racist.
Please defend Ted Lewis, who no one gives a fuck about. Please do that.
Yeah, no one cares.
No one
He
cares.
wasn't even that good. I don't know.
We got Patreon as well, patreon.com/oldiebudygoodie-pod. You can grab the episode we did on Steven Spielberg's movie AI. That's out right now. Bloody check that one out. And I believe starting this week, Zach, on Wednesday, it's the Cage-O-Rama 2.
Cage-O-Rama. It's been too long. We need more Cage in our lives.
It's been exactly a year since we did 6 Nicolas Cage movies back to back. We're doing it again. They said this time we're doing 7 because there's a bonus battle in there.
Hell yeah.
We're starting it off with Ghost Rider 2, Spirit of Vengeance.
Ooh, I'm looking forward to it. What we need is a Cage in the MCU. That would save everything, I feel.
That would save everything. Who would he play? Ghost Rider?
Ghost Rider, yeah.
Yeah.
Ghost Rider hasn't been in. I think they could make Ghost Rider a better character in the MCU by putting on that sort of like MCU humor, that lighthearted sort of tone. Because I felt like in Ghost Rider, the first movie that we watched, it was a bit serious, right? It was the more like early superhero things. Make that, modernize it,
Yeah.
make it good and not shit like a lot of Marvel movies lately. That'd be pretty fucking great.
What do you mean? I loved Ant-Man and the shit. I mean, Ant-Man and the crap. I mean, that film that I saw, was a bad movie. But Guardians was pretty good, and the Marvels looks pretty good as well, actually. I'm keen for the Marvels.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen Guardians. I wasn't too enthusiastic because I went and actually saw Ant-Man. And I was disappointed. It was a very mid movie. But the more disappointing thing about Ant-Man is it was really good in some places, really bad in a lot of places. And there was a lot of missed opportunities. So it's a very mid movie for me.
Very mid.
You should review that movie.
I don't give a I don't care. I've got
I
nothing
want to
to
talk
say
about
about it. You can do an episode with Reese about it if you want.
Yeah, I want to.
I won't be there.
I want to talk about it because it makes me mad.
No, for sure. Well, that's up on Patreon. The Cage-O-Rama starts on Wednesday. I'm very keen. And we're doing Renfield as the second one, which you chose. He's not even a main character in that, but we're doing Renfield.
So then why not? He's in the movie.
Zach, you've got to pick next week's movie, though. 1942 is the year we're heading to next, which makes sense because we just did 1941.
You got Bambi. We got Bambi. We could do Bambi, Sandra.
Oh my god, that's such a sad film. It's way better than fucking Dumbo, which came out in 41, that terrible movie.
You really hate Dumbo, but I love Bambi because the deer gets gatted.
You got Tarzan's New York Adventure. I haven't seen a Tarzan movie as an option in a while.
Oh, man, we do need to do a Tarzan movie at some point. Oh, The Ghost of Frankenstein. Does Frankenstein die and become a ghost? That's like 2 levels of spooky.
Frankenstein. Oh, what about I Married a Witch? Oh no, a man marries a witch. And I'm not just talking about my wife.
Or, Joe, hear me out. We watched Donald Gets Drafted.
Donald gets... Oh, the Donald Duck one, where Donald Duck goes. It's 9 minutes long.
Yeah, it's like a 9-minute sketch where Donald Duck gets drafted for the war.
Oh, Casablanca.
Ooh, Sherlock Holmes and the Voice of Terror.
Oh, yeah, we're in the 40s. We've got some Sherlock Holmes movies are coming out as well. We're going to have to do one of those at some point.
But there's only one movie that I could possibly pick out of this plethora of good options.
And it's Casablanca, right? Just like, because I passed out, I was like, we're not doing Citizen Kane. That's a normie film. Maybe we do need a normie film. Maybe we need something like Casablanca, something that people know,
But you should have picked the normie film, because I'm not going to pick the normie film. If you're going to ignore the normie picks, I'm going to ignore the normie picks.
Oh, no.
The only possible option I have here is Cat People.
What the fuck is Cat People?
Yeah, I don't know. I want to watch the one called Cat People. It has a funny poster. It's got a woman who's a cat.
What the fuck are you picking?
A newly married suburban fashion illustrator obsessed with the idea that is descended from the ancient tribe of cat people who metamorphoses into Black Panthers when aroused.
Oh my god, it's sexy!
When they get aroused, they turn into cats. Yes! We're doing this movie.
You're picking Cat People.
Yep.
It was remade in the 80s. Cool.
I saw it. I was like, wait, is this actually in 1982? No. That was the remake. It was made in 1982.
Well, next week, Cat People, I guess.
Yeah, let's do Cat People. Let's do it.
Well, we'll do that next week, Zach. I think I've got well, first things first, I'm going to put this net over you. There we go. Toss the net over you.
Why is there plates in here?
I can't believe another plate. Crap, that's ridiculous. Anyway, I'm going to need you to bring Harry Grindle Matthews back because I've got this net. I'm going to take him prisoner.
Oh, that's a plot development right there. Why are you taking him prisoner? What is the ploy here?
Because he's a bad boy. He's a naughty boy. I've got to spank him.
Okay, can you refrain from doing that? And, just for plot's sake, just capture him, alright?
Alright, I'm just capturing him for plot reasons.
Excellent. Alright, I'll believe it.
Disgusting pieces of plates went everywhere. There was so many crashing sound effects.
That was far too many crashing sound effects.
Oh, Harry Grindle Matthews, you sound like a cartoon. You sound like Skeletor.
Yeah, no, that's a fair criticism. No, it is I, Harry Grindle Matthews, and I am upset at being caged. Can you release me, please? I have many, things I need to get up to.
No, because you see, while you've been getting your army of people, I've been doing stuff on my own. In between episodes, I created this prison box. It's like the Ghostbusters ghost box.
Why?
But the thing I trap in the net goes into the box.
Wow, that's very convenient. Why didn't you build a time machine or something to go back to the future in this time?
Because we still have we've still got 28 episodes left to do this year, so...
Oh, that makes sense. All right.
Get in the box! I'm putting you in the box!
Whoa,
my shit! You get sucked in the box! That should be the last week. He may have faked his own death, but I got the better of Harry Grindle Matthews inside that box. He's in there, and I certainly hope there isn't a post-credit sequence after the ending theme of him escaping. Anyway, that's the episode. Next week, Cat People. Fucking Zach, I can't believe this. I picked a joke option this week, but now he's picking one. This is ridiculous. Anyway, I'm off to 1942. Goodbye, and make sure that you continue to hold that ghost.
What is that supposed to fucking mean? This box is rather spacious. Is it like a Pokeball? What am I doing in here?
Shut up, I'm kicking the box. I'm kicking the box. Shut up, Harry Grindle Matthews.
Well, now that I've been captured, this is all part of my plan. Yes, move through the portal into the future. And now, all the elements are in place for my plan. I still have to figure out how to get out of this book.